Howdy, everyone, and welcome into Hempstead Stadium. We have another fantastic week of Endicott College football to bring to you. This time, number 18 team in the country, the Ithaca Bombers, make their way down to Beverly. Hi, everyone. I'm Cody Shalfu. To my right, the beautiful, the handsome Joe Casey. Joe, it's an incredible game. You have the number 18 ranked team in the country, and Endicott basically, with the votes they're receiving, the number 27 ranked team in the country. What do you expect today?
Yeah, it's going to be a fun one, Cody, for sure. As you mentioned, Endicott coming and ranking the second most votes out of the top 25, so in that de facto 27 position. But like we mentioned, if you just say that the Endicott number 27 ranked team in the country versus number 18 ranked Ithaca, it becomes a whole lot more interesting. But that's what it'll be today. Ithaca coming off a really tough loss against Johns Hopkins, another ranked team. But they're trying to bounce back here today. But the opponent doesn't get any easier with an Endicott team that's coming off a 31-0 whomping over Ithaca's conference rival, St. Lawrence.
Right, we'll start with Ithaca, what they did last week. Against Johns Hopkins, they were the number 18 team in the country. Last week, Ithaca, the number 9 team. It was a loss. There was a lot of yards, a lot of points scored on both sides. It was a lead for Ithaca until they gave up 20 unanswered to the Johns Hopkins Blue Jays. So what do you expect them to come do today to try to get back on the right track?
Well, after they took that lead, Cody, their offense simply went flat. They got dominated in the air, 257 passing yards allowed in that one to just 175 of the Ithaca side. They did run the ball well, continue to do so with their running quarterback, who we'll talk about in a little bit here as well. But the offense got flat after that lead. They lost the time of possession battle, 33-21 to 26-39. They couldn't control the game for too long, and they're going to look to come out early and often with that smash mouth running football today.
Right, we'll see what Michael Torper, the head coach of the Bombers, can do. 12-2, and this is just his second season last year. Incredible year, which saw them get to the quarterfinals of the NCAAs. On the opposite side, Endicott pitched the shutout last week defensively, like they did so many times last year. What impressed you the most by their performance, and do you think they can replicate it against a tough team?
Yeah, 4 shutouts last year for the Gulls. Add one more in the beginning of this year. It's going to be a fun one. It's a shutout is tough, like I said, with their quarterback A.J. Wingfield, who's coming back for his graduate year, and all the weapons they have on that offense returning to this team. But you look at guys like Hector Johnson, guys like Colin Moropoulos, and the list goes on and on. So many playmakers. That's exactly what they were able to do last week. Paget with 2 interceptions, 9 tackles from Joe Terrell, a forced fumble from Alfino Davis, a playmaking defense that's looking to make a difference here today.
You can see on the screen the Endicott football team is coming out. That's on a little swag surfing, little Soldier Boy for your head tops. All 3 phases of the game for Endicott were awesome. The only question, a couple miscues on the special team side, but the offense came to play. The defense obviously came to play. What excited you about the offense of Endicott?
The offense, most exciting part was how we were able to move the ball through the air. Clayton Marangi last week showed us how much he can beat the opposing defenses with his arm, simply. Marangi, a great running quarterback, but again, like I mentioned last week, airing it out for 2 touchdowns, passing through the air, both 30-plus yards. He was really diming them up. Freiberger and Goodfellow both getting the ends of that, but 367 offensive yards for the Gulls, 195 of those passing. Marangi will look to lead this offense yet again, both with his feet and through the air.
Awesome, perfect. Endicott, as you might have heard through Joe's beautiful, eloquent speech about the offense of Endicott, they will receive the first kickoff of the game, and we'll be back in a moment. Looks like the national anthem is about to be queued up. After that, we'll go talk to Linda St. Laurent after that. So as the PA sounds go, again, 31 points for Endicott last game, none given up. We'll see if they can try to do that again. Take a moment, folks. We're going to do the national anthem.
Later in that game, showing the talent he is, had that mistake, had the fumble, but didn't come back to cost him, and he's out here trying to prove it yet again.
So Clayton Marangi gets picked off immediately. Interception. Number 18, Ben Stola, had an interception last week, and that's exactly what Ithaca needs to get back on track. First interception by Marangi.
The semifinal last year.
Inside zone, powering through it into the end zone, it looks like.
No signal
Waiting
yet.
for the signal. There it is, and Ithaca gets on the board first. And that is Jake Williams, who last week ran for 81 yards in the first half, only 4 throughout the rest of the 30 minutes against John Hopkins, and now starts off, gets his first touchdown, and it only takes a couple of minutes to get the turnover, then the quick score for the Bombers. I think he's scrambling, running for his life. He has some room, makes a move, splits two. And try to cut back. Tamir Rouser's in the area. He'll probably get credit for the tackle. But what a move right there, splitting both Michael Blanchard and Ben Stola. Touchdown on 4 carries, make this the 5th, and he's going backwards as a gang of goals, a flock, if you will. Get to the ball and get to it in the hurry.
Got to think, no matter how this play ends up, the Gulls are staying out there on the field.
3rd down in a nose. And untouched in the end zone for the first time this year, A.J. Caginelli. They stuck to what worked on that drive, Joe. Got some help from some penalties on the defense, but they ran the ball, short passes, and that's where you get the first score of the day.
The arm up would have been a heartbreaking penalty.
2nd and 1.
Big
what a stop. Ball's loose. Moropoulos was the first win there.
Straight stops from the Gulls. Game-changing. It would be on 4th and 1 here.
This would be huge.
Another one!
And they got him! They got him! Licciardi in the backfield. What seemed like the 8th straight run up the middle, Licciardi snuffed it out. And that is huge.
Replay here. This, Cody, is what wins you football games. The Gulls, 3 straight stops on the goal line. This is the defense that Coach McGonigal likes to play. They let him the long drive, but the 4th down not going to go their way this time. What a stop by the Endicott defense.
Textbook linebacker play. Shoot the gap. Go make a play. Matt Licciardi. There's a reason he's one of the captains on this team. He's looking for Goodfellow. He wasn't there. He'll tuck it and run. Marengi trying to get. Nice spin move. He's loose. Clayton Marengi.
Ever since he started using his legs, his Gulls have found success. So shifty. I mentioned it last week. Imagine taking a guy down with these moves. 6'3", 200 pounds. Impossible to take down. Floods the pocket. 1 broken tackle. Another spin move. And gains another 10 yards after.
He must have been on the sticks in the dorm room last night playing some Madden memories with a bunch of former goals as well. Community, big stepping stone here. Bridgewater makes a man miss, makes a second man miss. Marquise Bridgewater. That's why they use him. He's slippery.
Getting them back. The Gulls looking to continue to take advantage of this game and put the Bombers in a tough spot late in the quarter.
So again, Jimmy Mullavey is going to be the left guard now. He was all conference in high school. Wingfield has plenty of time. Over the middle to Klein. Paget there, but not before a big gain in a huge 3rd down and 22 to go conversion.
Yeah. Wingfield's been airing it out. He's been doing.
If Endicott can replicate their goal line stand from earlier in the game, there might be an earthquake recorded here in the North Shore. It's going to be Wingfield himself. He said, I'll just do it myself. He's in there for the Ithaca touchdown. It's now 17-13. Wingfield took it himself that time.
But it won't matter.
Double fake. They're going all the way. Wide open. Klein! Touchdown, Ithaca. Bombs the Endicott defense, and they're up 19-17.
What a throw. What did I tell you guys? A.J. Wingfield's arm is what's going to go down and win the game for Ithaca.
49 is the official, what they're giving it.
49, excuse me, not 41.
It's up. It's no good. It was wide right. And holding on to win is Ithaca. For a second, the crowd thought he got it. Unfortunately, Smith just too far right. And the Bombers get their first win of the season and are going to stay ranked going into next week.
What a game between these two sides. For Smith, had the leg, just going right as you mentioned. It looked like from here it might have even gone in. The crowd thought so. A tough loss, no doubt, for Endicott, but they're coming away proud of how they played a nationally ranked team as they go into Hardin-Simmons next week.
1,000,000%. It was a fantastic game on both sides. Offense showed up. The defense for both teams showed up. The special teams making a difference for both sides, Joe. Absolutely thrilling end of this, and couldn't have asked for a better day. Beautiful day out, a little hot, but we had some fun plays on both sides, and again, a absolutely soul-crushing loss for Endicott, but a fantastic 2-minute drive, last-second win for Ithaca as they punched it in with a couple minutes left to go.
A dramatic finish. What else could we more have asked? Fantastic game, coming down to the final seconds. Endicott 17-7 up. Ithaca able to come back and get a huge win. As a nationally ranked team, starting 0-2 wouldn't have been too kindly for Ithaca, but they're able to save it. Both teams now 1-1. Impressive on both sides of the ball. Big for Ithaca, but a lot of things to take away in the positive department for the Gulls.
Right, exactly. And for Ithaca, take me through the first half offense and the second half offense, Joe, and what they were able to do and change that script and come out with the win here in Beverly.
Yeah, talk about day and night, Cody. I mean, first half, flat. Didn't look like they had much going for them. The play of Wingfield wasn't as we expected. The second half, they started making big plays. They found chunk yardage. They used the run to set up the pass. And that mix of plays really spread out this Endicott defense and let Wingfield do what he does best, airing it out to win the game for the Bombers.
And Endicott had some cool drives, but Ithaca's defense, we want to give them props. Again, only 17 points for this Endicott team. They averaged about 32 last year, had 31 last week. What did you see about their defense and being able to disrupt Clayton Marenghi's kind of confidence and his rhythm?
Yeah, and offensively, it wasn't a bad game for the Gulls by any means. But it's that same opposite of Ithaca, the lack of chunk yardage. We didn't see these big plays. They didn't complete their long throws down the field, constantly broken up